Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to Manful Yoga. In this video, I show you 5 exercises for improving your glute activation. So I'm making this video for my aunt, Gaylynn, who runs a gym, and she is part of our MFY Yoga Launch Group. And when I asked her for content that would help her, she said weak glutes. So my instant thought was to create a video with a few exercises that help with glute activation, but I also wanted to make them different from things that she's already doing. So if you are watching this video and you also need help with glute activation, then I hope this is going to be useful for you. I'm going to show you 5 exercises starting now. First exercise, and this is the most, I think, traditional exercise and a really effective one for improving glute activation, is a single leg bridge. So you're just going to lie down on your back with your feet in toward your hips. You should be able to kind of touch the backs of your feet with your fingers. Knees and feet are about hip width distant. Push down through your feet, lift your hips off the ground. Squeeze your glutes together, so you're going to feel your glutes engage, maybe. Keep your abs tight so you don't have any pain in your back. And then lift one leg straight out. Now, this is going to force whatever foot is still planted. It's really going to help with that, engaging that glute. One thing more you can do here is squeeze that hip in and up. So you're lifting it in and up to improve that activation. And you want to keep your hips level as you're doing this. Doesn't matter how high your foot gets. You can keep it about a foot off the ground. Really doesn't matter. It's all about this planted foot. And then make sure you do both sides and release back down. Second exercise is a modified donkey kick. And as you're doing this, you want to focus on keeping your back neutral or flexed. So we want to make sure that you're not extending your back, not arching your back, but keeping it rounded as you're doing this. So you're going to start just with your knee in toward your chest, one knee at a time. Keep your back rounded and then drive your heel back as much as you can, keeping the back rounded, getting your leg as long as you can, focusing on that glute activation, keeping your belly button lifting up so your back is arched, and then pulling it back in. And this, just repeating that for about a minute. All right, so driving your heel back, again, keeping your belly button up so your back is rounded, right? We don't want the back flexed or extended here. Driving back, driving back, driving back, belly button lifting up, and then coming back in. All right, so we're gonna do that for 60 seconds on both sides. And the reason why you wanna keep your back rounded or neutral as opposed to extended or arched is because as your back arches, that actually turns off, that makes it harder for your glutes to engage. So keeping your back neutral or flex is going to help out a lot with that. Next exercise is a warrior 2. So warrior 2, really good for glute activation because when you turn that leg out into warrior 2, that's all glute. So start in a wide-legged position with your feet slightly in. Let's go right leg forward. So turn your right foot straight out 90 degrees. Squeeze your right glute and sink into your right knee. Now you want to make sure that your right knee is squeezing out to the side. And you also want to make sure that your hips are under your torso as you're doing this. Push down really hard through your right heel, and that should engage your glutes. So driving down through your feet is very helpful for engaging your glutes. That's no different in Warrior 2. Also notice that my hips stay under my torso here. My butt's not going up behind me like this. It's staying right under the torso. And again, driving down through that right heel is really going to help with that glute activation, as well as squeezing that right knee out to the outside. All right, that's your third exercise. Next one is similar to Warrior 2, except it's doing both legs at once. I call this pose Haka. You might have heard it referred to as goddess in a typical yoga class. So your feet are going to turn out as much as you can comfortably while keeping your back neutral or slightly extended. And then we're going to sit down into Haka. We're going to kind of move our legs from side to side, sinking deep into this. Just make sure to squeeze your knees toward the back, okay? That's really going to help here. You want to avoid letting your knees cave in because that's bad for the knees. And then, again, sinking from side to side, focusing on pushing down through the heels so you feel those glutes engaged, keeping your abs tight. Also reaching your tailbone down, right? We want to take the extension down to the back, so reaching the tailbone down, keeping your chest upright, and sinking as low as you can with good form here. And this is really going to help. You're going to really feel this burning in the glutes if you're doing this properly. I would hold this for 60 seconds. By the way, I forgot to mention for Warrior 2, minimum of 30 seconds, and I would go up to 60 or 90 seconds. And then finally, the last one I'm going to show you is a dynamic exercise, and I call this a slow side shuffle. So what you're going to do is start at one edge of the mat, feet about shoulder width distant, hinge at your hips. All right, so push your hips straight to the back. Make sure that your back is flat. Again, hinging means pulling your hips straight back. So we're not doing a squat here. We're hinging at the hips, pulling your hips back. Your knees stay as close to above your ankles as possible. Squeeze your thighs toward one another, and then we're just going to do a really slow side shuffle, keeping your hips squared forward as you walk to the side. And you should really feel this in your glutes if you're doing this properly. So as that foot comes off the ground and you have to struggle to keep the hips facing forward, that will engage your external hip rotators, your glutes. And then as you move across the mat, I would experiment with going deeper into it. So sitting down lower in an attempt to challenge yourself more. Very important here, and then go back to the other side once you finish. Very important here to keep your back flat and focus on using your core. You want to avoid rounding your back because that's just going to make your lower back hurt after a while. So try to keep your back neutral. And again, slowly walk. Keep your hips pulling back. Keep your knees as close to above your ankles as possible. And then I would do that a couple times back and forth on the mat. I would probably do it for 90 seconds, 60, 90, or 2 minutes total. And that's that. So you've got 5 exercises to help with improving your glute activation. This is going to help with strengthening your glutes, which will help with relieving lower back pressure, which tends to happen when you're not using your glutes as much. It's also going to help you with more explosive squats, better sprints, better jumps, and of course, a bigger badonkadonk. All things that are helpful for our fitness and for our lives. So thanks again for Gaylynn, my aunt, and a member of the MFY Yoga Launch Crew, or the MFY Yoga Launch Group. The reason why we're making this video is because we have a new product coming out from MFY Yoga. This is the Yoga Strong DVD, and this will be released on Saturday, April 7th on Amazon at 40% savings. So make sure if you want an intermediate yoga program to challenge you, to help you get stronger, to improve your mobility, your core strength, your body control, and actually see results from it too. Yoga Strong comes out on April 7th on Amazon. This is the DVD adaptation of Yoga Body. So Yoga Body was actually released on MFY Yoga earlier in 2017. This is the DVD version of that, but it's called Yoga Strong on Amazon. And if it's not April 7th yet, get on my Body by Yoga VIP list, become a Body by Yoga VIP, and you'll get exclusive content, info on how to save up to 40%, and lots of other cool stuff. Sign up at manfulyoga.com/BBY-VIP. It's totally free. You don't have to buy anything. It just helps you get exclusive content and know about things before other people do. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm putting out content like this on a very regular basis, helping you understand how yoga can improve your fitness, giving you practical information that you can immediately use to improve your workout performance and get stronger. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.